Trump explains the Don Roe Doctrine and plans for governorship of Venezuela. So there's a growing joke going around that Marco Rubio, because he speaks Spanish, he's just going to become the governor or the president or governor of Cuba and Venezuela and shit. And Trump knows about this, and I think that it's hilarious. So let's see what he has to talk about. This is Trump talking to Sean Hannity on Fox about something that he has coined the Don Roe Doctrine. Now that's just kind of a play on the Monroe Doctrine that basically called for U.S. expansion from sea to shining sea. And at this point, we're going from pole to fucking pole, my guy. All right, we want this entire hemisphere. Split the world up on the prime meridian, and this half is ours, baby.
I didn't know it was a full hour. I thought it was going to be maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But you do that to me every once in a while.
I think I was pretty clear, but thank you for your time. We always appreciate it. There's really not much in the news, so there's not a real lot to talk about, but let's start with Venezuela. Narco-terrorist, indicted.
I disagree, Sean. There is a lot going on in the news. It's just that you cover things on a daily basis, and I cover things once or twice a weekly basis. So I guess that's fair, but also there's a lot of shit going on.
Guy that we're losing 200 Americans a day to drugs.
Yeah.
Walk us through this decision in Venezuela.
Well, it wasn't a hard decision. Democrats wanted him, and Republicans wanted him, and nobody had what it takes to get him. Didn't want to get him. I don't know. Something happened, but he killed a lot of people. He sent a lot of bad people into our country. He emptied his prisons into the United States. He emptied his mental institutions and insane asylums into the United States, and did a lot of very bad things. But he was a big drug pusher. You see that because all the boats that we shot down, they came out of Venezuela. A lot of drugs. There's a lot of boats and a lot of drugs.
There was a lot of drugs on those boats.
Boats operating right now.
You know what they're not doing anymore? They're not sending those boats. You want to know why? Because Trump kept blowing them up.
There's almost no boats. You can't find any boats.
I don't think anyone would go fishing in those waters.
Not a lot of people want to go fishing anymore. But we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's
warheads on foreheads, baby.
very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country, but the cartel...
Look, color me surprised, because I knew that we would get a 51st state, but I did not know that it would be Venezuela, buddy. Honestly, I thought that it would be either Greenland or Alberta, maybe Mexico if we just got a wild hair for us. I didn't even think about Venezuela, but you know what? Trump administration keeps doing that. They keep, we're looking over here, and then they've got shit going on over here. They're very, very good about that. They are on top of their operational security, bud. Their military, or the U.S. military, Trump's administration and his military, is the fucking best.
Cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You lose a child or a parent. Parents are dying too with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that when anybody could just walk into your country.
The border's ostensibly really closed now.
Closed. You can't come in. And nobody comes. Nobody even tries. And the people in Texas, Arizona, all these places that are won by such big numbers, they are so happy with the border. They had homes that they weren't even able to live in their home. Every day people were knocking on their door. Every hour. And it's just a great honor to be involved with it. The ICE and Border Patrol and all of the people have been so good. Tom Home and Christy Nome. The people have done such an incredible job. You have no idea.
You've made a number of profound announcements and then a new announcement today. Announcement number one was 30 to 50 million barrels of oil that they will be handing over to you, and you will sell it on the market at market prices. That money will be used for the people of Venezuela and the people of America.
Right.
Then you made an announcement yesterday that they will buy all of their goods from this country. Today, we learned that the holdovers since Maduro's gone, have agreed to free all of the political prisoners.
Right.
It indicates they want peace with Donald Trump to me. How do you interpret it?
We asked them to do that, and they've been great. They really have been. I mean, everything we've wanted, they've given us. We went in, we took Maduro out. Amazingly, that nobody was killed. We didn't lose a soldier. We had some people wounded, but we didn't lose a soldier. A couple of very brave helicopter pilots were wounded pretty badly, but they're good. They're in good shape.
Good deal. We're fucking glad for it, man.
And
a lot of the Cuban guys that Maduro was employing to run security for him, because he couldn't have the Venezuela people do it. They'd kill him in his sleep.
it was an amazing attack. The other side.
Yeah, a lot of those guys didn't make it, which is mostly why Cuba's pissed. But fuck them.
It was lost a lot of people, unfortunately. But you know, this house was in the middle of a fort with thousands of people and soldiers.
Was in the middle of a fort. Then we got in there and ripped the man out of his bed.
And everything else, and we went right into the middle of a fort. Who would think you could do that and not lose anybody?
I don't know if this is true or not, but I like to imagine that he was asleep and that U.S. Special Forces just kind of grabbed him.
But they had it planned so beautifully. General Raisin Kane and Pete Hegseth were fantastic. Marco's been doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
The Vice President, the whole group it's just a fantastic group.
Let's talk a little bit about, you make these decisions. I don't care if it's this case, Operation Midnight Hammer. In the one case,
Yeah, literal representation of warheads on foreheads. Operation Midnight Hammer, going in one night, sending a bunch of stealth bombers 13 hours across the planet from Missouri to Iran to blow up a lot of their nuclear stockpile that they weren't supposed to have.
You're here in the White House in the Situation Room. You're watching this unfold in real time. In this case, you have operationally the same thing, a Situation Room down in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago. You make that ultimate call. You are the commander-in-chief.
Right.
You're watching it unfold in real time. What is that like?
Well, I've done it now quite a bit. We took out Soleimani, which was a big deal. I mean, a very big deal. Middle East.
We took out Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He died like a dog.
It was very bad to people. Killed a lot of people. Everybody you see, just about 95% of the people you see walking around without legs or without arms, that was the roadside bomb. That was his baby. He loved it. We took him out. We took out al-Baghdadi. He's the founder of ISIS.
Yeah, that's the guy I was just talking about. Fuck yeah.
We did Midnight Hammer, which was obliterate the Iran nuclear threat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a total obliteration, as they found out. The B-2 bombers and the best pilots anywhere in the world.
Damn right.
They did it at night with no movement.
The U.S. logistical team is absolutely crazy. They can refuel these planes mid-flight.
Totally dark, and every bomb went right down an air shaft deep into a granite mountain. It was amazing. And we did this, and it's similar in a way. I don't know, this seems to have gotten the imagination, maybe even more than the other ones, but I think they're very equal in many ways. But I don't know, maybe taking out the nuclear threat from Iran, it's very important. But in terms of captivating attention, this seems to be something that is beyond anything that anybody's seen.
Especially the operational details.
Well, the bravery involved, I mean, to have people going into an army fort with, thousands of soldiers, land a helicopter right in the middle of it.
There were thousands of soldiers, I'm just saying. Listen, it's like 100 Venezuelan soldiers for every one U.S. soldier, okay? And that's just like the bottom of the barrel guy fresh out of boot camp. You get somebody that's done a couple of tours, you're going to need like 1,000 of those guys.
Break down a steel door, because, it was a fortified house. Break down a steel door, run through the hallway shooting, and come out 10 minutes later with the guy who wasn't quite able to get into his safe house. There's a safe.
Yeah, I heard they got to him within 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes.
It was so fast. I mean, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And but the safe house wasn't safe because they had blowtorches that go through steel like it's butter.
Yeah, like listen, safe house is only It'll do what it's supposed to in the way of like keeping you safe against a bomb or something like that. But if a person shows up and they want to get inside and they have unlimited resources like the U.S. military, they will. They will get inside eventually. Yeah.
They didn't have to use them, but we have. These are great people. These are really brave people. Even coming down those ropes, they're coming down ropes off the helicopter, and they run them. I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I could do that. I'm gonna have to give it a try sometime. But they do it like it's a stairway, like it's a beautiful stairway, and they're on the ground instantly, and they're ready for action. These are brave people. We have the greatest soldiers in the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world. Nobody can match us. I rebuilt the entire military during my first term.
Yes, you did.
Biden gave some.
I got out just before Trump's first term, and I really wish I had stayed in.
But away a lot of it, but not a lot relative to what I bought. But he gave a big chunk to Afghanistan, which was just insane. It was one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of our country. This was the opposite. This was a total, if you think about Jimmy Carter with the hostages, or you think about the Afghanistan disaster that we had not so long ago with Biden, where it was just mass confusion and the death of 13 great soldiers who I got to know the families very well.
Yeah, and Biden was like falling asleep, yawning, checking his watch and shit, like, fuck, when is it gonna be over with these 13 soldiers I sent to fucking die?
Great people, but also, and nobody talks about them, 48 people so badly injured, and hundreds of people dead. Hundreds of people, when those bombs were off, because I count the other side, but there were hundreds of people killed, all because of an incompetent group of politicians and generals and people that shouldn't be there.
Let's talk a little bit, maybe an underreported story, but we know for a fact that both the Russians and the Chinese provided missile and ballistic missile systems. They did it to both. They helped Iran and they helped Venezuela.
Yep, and look what's happening.
That. You talk a lot about American military superiority, and then that goes into the issue that you raised this week of raising the budget for 2027 from $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion.
We need it. When you look at the threat out there, we have the best equipment in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. Mm-hmm. We make just, there's nothing even close. But we need it because there are some real threats out there.
Yeah. Well, I think we certainly do. Let me ask you about this. And I think this is important. With every military operation comes risk, and you have to obviously weigh that risk. And I think Americans would want to know what goes into your thinking, because there's a whole new military doctrine. I call it the Trump doctrine. I think it's widely misunderstood.
It's America is going to do whatever the hell is best for the United States of America, and if you don't like it, fuck you. That's Trump's new military doctrine. And it's also, we're not going to allow you to keep doing shit that leads to the death of American civilians anymore.
No forever wars.
And we're not going to just write you a sternly worded letter either. We're going to kick your fucking door in and rip you out of your bed.
However, that doesn't mean you don't use the might and power of the U.S. military.
Correct.
You mentioned Baghdadi, Soleimani. I'll add the mother of all bombs in Afghanistan, the ISIS caliphate, and then taking out Iran's nuclear weapon sites. And now our hemisphere. Right. Are you calling it the Donroe Doctrine?
Well, they call it the Donroe. I didn't call it that, but they're calling
They said these things. I didn't say that. They call it the Donroe Doctrine. They said that. I didn't say that. They said that.
Monroe Doctrine. Now they call it the Donroe, which is basically safety for this part of the world. And it's pretty simple. We don't want drugs pouring into our country. We don't want bad people coming into our country, like happened for 4 years under Biden, who was a disgrace, worst president in the history of our country. Horrible.
He was barely even a president. I'm gonna be honest. You put the auto pin up for his thing, because let's be real, that's kind of all he was. Biden spent 40% of his time on vacation. So he couldn't ride a bicycle. He fell off of it.
We had some other bad ones. Let me tell you, Obama was a terrible president. The device.
Like, Biden falls off of his bicycle because he's too old to keep his balance, and the Democrat media talks about how he got 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream.
And the hatred that was caused, and many of the people allowed into the country. But what Biden did was a step beyond anything that anybody's ever done, where you had Millions of people pouring through the border. Now we have nobody coming in unless they come in legally.
Damn right.
Let's talk about, you said for the interim, you will be in charge. Okay.
Yes, he will be. He's going to be controlling all the money, too. And that's something that really pisses the liberal media off.
Obviously, the remaining leadership underneath Maduro, they've made, I mentioned earlier, 3 major concessions, 30 to 50 million barrels of oil. They're going to buy and purchase all their goods from America. Now they're releasing political prisoners. Okay. What is your ultimate goal for the governance of Venezuela?
Prisoners that nobody thought they would ever see again are being released, yeah. And in many cases, good people is what I understand. But prisoners nobody ever thought they'd be released. So we're going to be working with them and leadership of the country. And so far we've been working very well. You know, we picked up the Russian freighter that trudged out there.
Well, I want to ask you about that.
Well, they had some Russian ships guarding it, and they decided not to mess around with us. And we took
Correct decision.
It's unloading the oil.
The first correct decision that Russia's had in a very long time.
We're taking billions and billions of dollars worth of oil, and it'll be hundreds of billions of dollars. It'll be trillions of dollars, but we're going to be there till we straighten out the country. We'll see how the country's doing. But we'll be running the oil. We're meeting tomorrow with all of the big oil executives. We're going to be right here in the White House. We're going to meet with the, biggest oil people in the world. They're all coming here. The top 14 companies are coming here. They're going to go in. They're going to rebuild the whole oil infrastructure. They're going to spend at least $100 billion, and it's an unbelievable oil that they have, and an unbelievable quality of oil and amount of oil.
That belongs to the U.S. now. Thank you, Venezuela. We appreciate your contribution to the U.S. expansion across the Western Hemisphere.
When they nationalized the oil industry in Venezuela, going back to the 1920s,
Yeah.
American companies had invested billions.
We built it. Yeah.
All of it.
And then it was taken away from us.
Stolen.
It was stolen from us, and it was taken away years ago over a period of time, but it was taken away in the early 2000s, even beyond that, but the early 2000s, and I just took it back.
I can't imagine them being able to, they have the largest oil reserves in the world. I can't imagine without American investment, ingenuity, engineering, and our assistance that they would ever be able to tap into the vast resources that they have. Again, the largest in the entire world. So that will be a big part of it. What does that mean in terms of America's new partnership with Venezuela?
Well, it means lower oil prices all over the world, which is great for everybody. It means lower oil prices.
It means lower oil prices. It means a stronger U.S. dollar. It means the U.S. being able to export more oil, meaning that it will create more economic revenue for the United States, further increasing the value of the U.S. dollar and decreasing the cost of shit in the U.S. This is an all-around good thing.
For America.
It's also negotiation leverage with a very hostile place like China, for example, because they get a lot of their oil from Iran and Venezuela.
Which I have it down.
And Russia, but again, I really think that given recent events with the regime change in Iran and the U.S. taking over the oil in Venezuela, China's probably not going to be getting that much oil anymore, meaning it's going to be forced to take over the oil fields in Russia, causing it to go to war with its closest ally, Russia, because it doesn't have another choice.
Don't forget, I inherited a mess. They talk about affordability. There was no affordability under Biden. He had the worst inflation in history, the highest and worst inflation in history. Prices were through the roof, and I'm fixing it. I inherited a mess. I say it all the time. I inherited, because people don't understand, I inherited a mess. Open borders, millions of people in this country that shouldn't be. We're moving them out. We're moving them out pretty rapidly, too. Murderers and drug dealers and just some of the worst people.
Fucking W, man. Just saying. Everything he's doing. Great job.
In the world came in, not only from Venezuela, from all over the Congo. The Congo sent us tremendous numbers.
Aside from the Epstein files, he really dropped the ball on that one.
With the Congo, they opened their jails and they walk into our country. They drive them up to our front entrance. They get out and they walk right into our country. And these are tough, hardened criminals. These are real criminals, and from many countries. I mean, they came from Africa. They came from the Middle East. They came from South America, but a lot came from Venezuela. He opened his prisons and sent all of the people from his prisons into the United States. Why not? I do the same thing if I were. You take the people, they're nothing but trouble for you, and they're killers, and they're the worst people that you can imagine. I mean, some of the crimes are so bad you wouldn't believe it. We just accepted them into our country. Nobody did anything about it. So we're getting them out. Washington, D.C., as an example, was very dangerous, and now it's very safe. I mean, everybody's coming to Washington. It's a very safe city now, and
it is. It's beautiful. I suggest that anybody that lives in the United States go and visit Washington D.C. at some point, because you get to see all of the cool shit. Like I recently took my family to Washington D.C. over like last year over Thanksgiving, and we got to see the founding documents. We got to see the Capitol building. We got to see Thomas Jefferson's porn collection from his personal library. We got to see like the space shuttles and R2-D2, and it was a fucking blast, man. And I really do suggest that anybody that lives in the United States go and visit it at some point. My favorite fact that I learned from the tour guide while I was there is that they electrify that dome on the Capitol building to kill any animals that touch it to keep it pretty.
When I took over, it was really a danger. It got really bad. We had it pretty good, but it wasn't really a focus because you didn't hear the level of danger until my second term. My first term, we watched Washington, but it wasn't like it was the big deal. Now, all of a sudden, when I came here, I was hearing stories about the kind of crime that they had here. People come in from Iowa and from Indiana and great places, and they end up calling the parents that your son has been killed. Doesn't happen anymore. We have a very safe. Washington, D.C. is a very safe city. We put our National Guard there. They're all central casting. You take a look at these guys. It's great. We won the case on merit, based on merit from the Supreme Court. A great victory, a courageous victory, actually. But this country's now based on merit again.
Good.
Let me ask you.
Because like a lot of Trump's, whenever he was accusing the Democrats of stealing the 2020 election, which by the way, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that they did. Anyway, whenever he was accusing them of that, he was filing lawsuits in like every fucking court district in the country, and a lot of them were rejected purely based on standing, which is a judicial way of saying, I don't feel like dealing with this. We're not going to look at the merits. We're just going to say, no, you can't do that here because small bumfuck town Indiana isn't the correct place to do it. Have a good day. And the Democrats are running with him losing all of these lawsuits when in reality they were all just rejected off of no standing. And the ones that were actually taken up, Trump won the majority of them. So anyway, yeah.
You about Maria Corina Machado. I've had her on TV this week.
Yeah, she's a very nice person.
Okay, she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
When she
yeah, and then she dedicated it to Trump because he really should have won it. But given that it's a crazy liberal terrorist organization now, they're not going to at all give Trump credit for anything.
accepted that Peace Prize, she dedicated it to you. She said to me this week, both on TV and radio, that she wants to give the Nobel Prize, her Nobel Peace Prize, to you for liberating her country. In 2023, she won over 92% of the vote.
Trump's going to definitely get the Nobel Peace Prize in the next time they do it.
To be the leader of the opposition, Maduro kept her off the ballot. Do you have any plans to meet with her? And would you accept the Nobel Prize she wants to hand to you?
Well, I understand she's coming in next week sometime.
We got to be careful with that, though, because, so they still, yes, Maduro is out, but a lot of people in his regime are still in their current, seat of power, and they really don't like her because she's, a populist person, and she is full-ass narco-terrorist state, and she was doing so well, in fact, that Maduro, kicked her, his regime forced her to, well, not really forced her. She wasn't allowed to be on the ballot after winning the majority in her party.
And I look forward to saying hello to her, and I've heard that she wants to do that. That would be a great honor. I did put out 8 wars, 8 and a
I'm just saying, put them out like they're candles.
quarter, because, you know, Thailand and Cambodia started going at it.
World's on fire in these 8 different places, and Trump walks in, whips his dick out, and pisses on all of them. And I'm just saying.
Against,
I'll put the list
I
up
give a
if you
quarter,
want.
so it's,
Yeah.
you put the list out, it's a hell of a list. But I've stopped 8 wars. And I think, it's been a major embarrassment to Norway. Now, I don't know what Norway has to do with it, but that's where the committee is located, a lot of Norwegian people. And
It's just their political view, that's all.
it's been a very big embarrassment to the country of Norway. Whether they have anything to do with it or not, I think they do. They say they don't. But, when you put out 8 wars, in theory, you should get 1 for each war, okay? Because some of these wars were going on for 30 years. India, Pakistan was ready to go at it big, and these are 2 nuclear countries. I got that one.
Yeah, you nipped that in the bud, buddy. Thank you, appreciate
It
that.
stopped. 8 planes were shot down. They were really at it, and I got it stopped. It was a big one. You look at the Congo, Rwanda, and the Congo. They've been fighting for 30 years, and I got it stopped. I got so many wars. So it's such a beautiful thing. It makes me feel so good. Not because of a Nobel Prize, but because I saved millions and millions of lives, and that's what really makes me feel good.
Yep. Peace, President Trump. That's all we're saying. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. Really hope you guys enjoyed what we were talking about. I enjoyed it a lot. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit follow on Kick, where this was streamed live once a week. Make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed to me, because it's kind of like having a waiter and not tipping them, right? You're gonna watch me. You're gonna be subscribed to me. That's just how it works, okay? The U.S. is gonna expand in 2026, and so is my viewer base. The U.S. is gonna get 51, and I'm gonna get 1 guy. You know what I mean? That's all. Anyway, if you're watching me on YouTube, definitely subscribe at youtube.com/Sestill-G2D. If you're watching me on Rumble because you're tired of YouTube and you're tired of all the left-wing bullshit on it, then definitely subscribe to me on there too, at rumble.com/Sestill. And if you like listening to based opinions all the time on the internet and me calling out politicians and retard bots on X, you can follow me there at real_Sestill. I was labeled a Russian bot a couple of months ago by some fucking retard. I don't know. I did a video about it. You should definitely check that out. Anyway, I had a great time, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.